Strongsville, Ohio, a small peaceful suburb just south of Cleveland. But in July 2022, a horrific crash at a local intersection would shatter the calm and reveal a chilling story of love, betrayal, and tragedy. Behind the wheel was 17-year-old Mackenzie Shirilla. In the passenger seats, her boyfriend Dominic Russo and his friend Davion Flanagan. None of them knew that this late-night joyride would end in death.
I was the one that called it in.
You called it in?
Yeah, I saw it. I was coming back from breakfast.
Okay.
And I pulled up to the corner there.
Okay,
And
we
saw
appreciate
it.
you giving us a call.
Yeah. Someone in it, obviously?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So.
That's a bummer. I didn't want to get stuck, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Right. No, I appreciate you giving us a call. Absolutely appreciate it.
They fucking were hitting it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously. Because I saw that front end.
They definitely hit it hard.
Destroyed.
Right.
All right, well, what a way to start your Sunday. I guess better than theirs, huh?
On the night of July 31st, 2022, Mackenzie, Dominic, and Davion left a gathering and began driving through the streets of Strongsville. It seemed like an ordinary night, but what happened next was anything but ordinary.
The drive started out as normal, and both Dominic and Davion dozed in and out during the ride. However, suddenly, Mackenzie takes a different route. One that leads completely opposite of Davion's house. One that, just a few days earlier, she spent hours circling around. And without any hesitation, she stepped on the gas. Going over 90 miles per hour, Mackenzie flew past street cameras, and just out of the camera's view was a large brick building, and Mackenzie was heading straight towards it.
What police discovered and what shocked the nation was that this wasn't an accident. It was intentional. According to investigators, Mackenzie Shirilla had accelerated her car to over 100 miles per hour before slamming into the brick wall without braking. Dominic and Davion died instantly. Mackenzie Shirilla was an ordinary teenager, at least on the surface. Known for her bright smile and her social media presence, Mackenzie seemed to live a life like any other teenager, but behind closed doors there was a darker side to her life, especially her turbulent relationship with her boyfriend Dominic Russo.
Dom, if you do not open, you think I'm joking.
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean. You're gonna come open this door right now, or there's gonna be a serious problem.
Friends described the couple's relationship as intense, marked by frequent arguments and emotional highs and lows, but no one expected it to end the way it did.
You understand, you're not under arrest.
Yeah.
You walk out anytime you want. We have approximately 10 questions that we wanted to ask you. And so, how long were you guys in a relationship, you and her?
Well, we were all friends in a friend group at first. I ended up dating her for a little bit, probably over the summer. I was only dating her for probably a month and a half or 2 months. And then me and Dom found out that she was cheating on us basically, but it wasn't anything official, so it wasn't a hard feeling. So whatever happened, I just kind of was after me and Dom found out about that, we didn't have no problems with each other and nothing, but they were on and off, and I kept on talking to her still while they were on and off, because we were all still in the friend group and stuff. So, and then we kind of just stopped being intimate, you know what I'm saying, and we're just friends.
So, describe the relationship. What was she like as your girlfriend?
I didn't really have much with her relationship-wise because we didn't date that long, but friend-wise, she was crazy.
She mentally just not all there? I mean,
yeah, I don't think she's just mentally all there. I personally feel like she was trying to kill herself in that crash, and she failed on doing so.
Why did Dom put up with this? Do you know?
I've personally been told that she did voodoo on him. She has told people that she's put a spell on him so that he couldn't break up with her. That she had grabbed a piece of his hair, and that she had a doll in her room for Dom, and that she had literally put a spell on him, is what she would tell everyone. And, she truly believed in that kind of stuff. And she also uses the pendulum, I know too, to try to get answers. She tries to use it now to talk to Dom.
Do you think Mackenzie has it in her to drive a car into a wall? I mean, if you guys speculate that she did it on purpose, do you think she has it in her?
I feel like if she thinks that she can just drive the car into the wall and not feel nothing, I feel like The only reason she survived is because of how small she is. Like, I feel like she got insanely lucky, but at the same time not lucky to have survived that, because it's like she killed 2 people if that was what she was trying to do. But it's like I feel like that's what she was trying to do, was crash the car into the wall.
Surveillance footage from a nearby business showed Mackenzie's car accelerating before slamming into the wall. Forensic evidence backed this up. There were no skid marks, no signs of braking. This was no accident.
To factually solve this case, it's critical for detectives to understand exactly what happened leading up to the crash. Luckily for them, Davion's phone was connected to a safety app called Life 360, which allows friends and family of Davion to track where he is at all times.
I just want to show you.
Oh no, explain it.
So this is when they were going down Progress Drive, and then you know how there was like tire tracks before it, like on that side grass. So that's the sign.
That's when it hits the sign.
And then that's where she curved exactly right on.
Gotcha.
Missed those 2 rocks and went right into the sign, the side of it. But I'm just confused on how the back of the sign was messed up, but she went right into that wall.
Right.
No, so you can see like the hard braking was right at the wall, and then her high speed
was after the hard braking.
Was 90 miles per hour.
So it said it's a recording. Does that play?
So,
I mean, what does it mean? Or just screenshots?
It's just
a tracker.
Yeah, it's like my parents have me in a circle so they can see where I go, and it just follows you wherever you go.
And Davion had us in.
Yeah, you can send the screenshots right to the email, and I'll get them all to the detective.
So I spoke to friends that were at the party. I wasn't personally there. I thought that they might have been on psychedelics. Kenzie was the driver, and they said that she took a nap. But if you know psychedelics, that's like a 8-hour to 12-hour, like you cannot sleep. Yeah, you cannot sleep.
You can see the exact time they left the house. I don't know.
That's fine. So you can just send everything right there.
All right.
In addition to this information, the car's black box recorded the gas pedal was pressed down to its fullest extent while driving towards the building. Another one of Dominic's friends was connected to Life 360 and had a very clear opinion of what he thought this evidence could be interpreted as.
To me, right here, if you looked at the tracks, and you guys probably have pictures of them, it looks like the person in the front seat tried to turn the wheel because of the fact they were going to go straight into a wall. And it doesn't say she heart broke once. It was 90 miles per hour down that whole road. And I also think because of Kenzie's and Dominic's history, that they were fighting. I think Davion went on his phone to distract himself from the fighting. Although they were on drugs, they can also still be fighting with being on drugs.
It could have just been like a careless mistake. Like, I don't think Kenzie, even if she was like at road rage, if she was arguing, I don't think her intention was to kill 2 people no matter what.
However, while this evidence is useful and certainly adds suspicion, it doesn't fully reveal Mackenzie's intentions leading up to the crash. Detectives are still uncertain whether or not this was truly an accident or if something much worse was in play.
Prosecutors charged Mackenzie Shirilla with multiple counts of murder, arguing that she had deliberately caused the deaths of Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan. The case quickly became a national sensation.
The crash. Strongsville police were notified that they had received concerning emails from the community that the defendant and her mother were seeking employment with the Los Angeles modeling agency. Mackenzie Shirilla said to Vitali, "Thank you for the comment. I would love to work with you guys. I've been emailing you guys a lot. Such a great opportunity. Thank you."
Is there a date?
There is not a date on this, Your Honor. Based on the investigation, it was delivered to the police while the defendant was still in the Metro Health Hospital. So it was during that time period. She was in the hospital for several weeks. Shortly after being released from the hospital, the police were provided additional videos of the defendant from her wheelchair as she attended a concert down in the Flats. And again, Your Honor, I'm introducing these to the court to show the shocking lack of remorse. This was something that was being exhibited while the investigation was still going on, before she was charged and arrested in November of last year. And these were the sort of things that were coming to the police, and the shocking lack of remorse, coupled with the fact that the defendant was reported driving an automobile shortly after this event that she was seen in Strongsville again driving a car. In spite of the fact that, as her mother testified, she got dizzy sometimes from a condition that she had to take salt pills for, in spite of the fact that it was in fact her mother who provided her with the car that she used to take Dominic and Davion's life.
12 weeks later, on October 31st, 2022, Mackenzie had recovered enough to celebrate Halloween. She and her friends went out on the town trick-or-treating, dressed as corpses. In a corset and heavy makeup, Mackenzie was almost unrecognizable. She certainly looked nothing like the grieving victim of a horrific auto accident who'd lost her boyfriend only 3 months before. In another outfit for the same celebration, she dressed as Drank, a popular concoction with teenagers made of cough syrup, alcohol, and a soft drink combined.
Mackenzie's defense team claimed that this was not a premeditated act but a reckless moment of poor judgment. They argued that Mackenzie was dealing with her own mental health struggles and that the crash was an accident born out of emotional instability. Mackenzie's mental health became a central topic in public discussions. In court, however, the focus was less on her psychological struggles and more on the irrefutable evidence that she deliberately caused the crash. In August 2023, after days of deliberation, the jury reached a verdict. Mackenzie Shirilla was found guilty of murder. She was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 15 years.
The futures of 3 families, and of you also, Mackenzie. And your decisions forever robbed Dominic and Davion of the futures that they had before them. If there is one thing that can be taken away from this case, as painful as it is this. Every decision we make is important. Every action we make is important. Regardless of whether the decision is a good one or a bad one, or the actions are good or not, the result is the same. The consequences ripple through time and affect many more people than one might think at the time of the decision. In criminal cases, the state carries the greatest burden under our law, proof beyond a reasonable doubt. As I previously stated, I considered all the evidence presented, and at this point I would like to comment specifically on Exhibit 802, the crash video. This is the type of evidence you can never unsee. You can never forget the visual or audio of this exhibit. It is chilling and tragic. As you review that exhibit, you know that you are watching the oncoming deaths of 2 people, and there is nothing that will stop it. The video clearly shows the purpose and intent of the defendant. She chose a course of death and destruction that day. Exhibit 802 crystallizes the deadly decision-making of the defendant. She morphs from a responsible driver to literal hell on wheels as she makes her way down the street. Mackenzie alone made the decision to drive the car, to drive an obscure route, a route she visited a few days before, and a route not routinely taken by her. Mackenzie alone chose the time to make the drive, early in the morning, when any reasonable person would expect that few people would be nearby to witness it or offer life-saving assistance. She made these decisions despite knowing, as any reasonable person would, that her mission of death could have involved others, not even in the car with her, other people, other cars, pedestrians. She had a mission, and she executed it with precision. The mission was death. Mackenzie alone decided to push the pedal to the floor and demand the ultimate speed of that vehicle to 90 to 100 miles per hour. She alone decided what was to be. Mackenzie decided death was the ultimate goal that day, and she alone made that decision for Dominic and Davion, and she continuously acted in a manner to achieve her purpose. Whether or not she intended to also kill herself is a matter of speculation, and have no relevance to the weighing of the evidence in this case. The totality of the evidence clearly demonstrates that Mackenzie Shirilla acted purposely and intentionally in the early morning hours of July 31st, 2022, and her purpose was to kill Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan. No reasonable fact finder could view the totality of this evidence in this case and come to any other conclusion. Her actions were controlled, methodical, deliberate, intentional, and purposeful. This was not reckless driving. This was murder. The court renders the following verdicts. Count 1. The court, having had count 1 tried to it pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder, to wit Dominic Russo, in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.02a, is charged in count 1. Count 2. The court, having had count 2 tried to it pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder, to wit Davion, in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.02a, is charged in count 2 of the indictment.
Mackenzie Shirilla's case remains a stark reminder of the consequences of impulsive actions and the devastating impact they can have. As her life now unfolds behind bars, the families of Dominic and Davion continue to mourn their loss.
I am devastated by the loss of Davion. The world lost a truly special man.
Now that Davion is gone, I feel stuck. I feel as if I can't move forward.
Dom was not only my brother, he was also my best friend.
Be thankful that you're still alive and have a future, whatever that may be. Dom and Davion were robbed of their futures, their hopes, and their dreams.
We are just thankful that we feel justice was served today. There's not a day that goes by that we don't miss our son, and justice was served for him today. But honestly, there's no winners here. There's no winners here today.
This case has opened up conversations about mental health, young love, and the pressures faced by teenagers today. But for the families involved, the pain is permanent, and the search for answers continues. 2 young lives lost, 1 life forever changed. The crash on that fateful night in Strongsville will never be forgotten, and the lessons it holds remain as important as ever.